You are listening to Words with the Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am. I am Mad Coach. I am Mad Coach. I am. You are listening to Words with the Mad Coach.
Mad World, Coach Sess checking in. What's going on? Hey, did you hear the news about the UFC buy rate? Did 1.3 million. Apparently that is the largest since Khabib and McGregor. Very impressive for the card that it was. I honestly believe that Jorge Masvidal carried that card. I don't think Gilbert Burns versus Usman gets you to 1.3. I think maybe it gets you 300, 400,000 buy rate just because of the climate we're in. I think there was a lot of hype about Fight Island, and we can talk about that for just a second. My personal observation about Fight Island is that it was the same UFC. There was nothing on our end as far as spectators who were watching it on pay-per-view, television, streaming, or whatever. There's nothing that I observed that was any different from previous shows. And I would have preferred that, that they kind of kept it like the previous shows. With this, it was just something different about it. I'm not quite sure what it was. It was just something different. I don't know if the cage size was a factor. Just didn't have the same intensity. I don't know if it was the drawing power of the fighters. I thought there was some good fighters, but it's just something about those fighters. I wouldn't look at some of those fighters and say this person or that person can carry a card by themselves. Not like what UFC 200 was. There's a lot of main eventers on the entire show. So as far as that goes, but at the same time, you have to look at the climate and being COVID-19 and everything that's going on in the world. You have to accept that, because we know that a lot of people, not because of reasons of their own, they get pulled from the fight. Like Gilbert Burns got pulled out because exposure of his corner people. So a lot of that's been going on in these previous shows, and a lot of that is made for compelling fights, I thought, because you get these last minute guys. Some are world class. You don't know how good they are, how good they aren't. And so you see guys coming out just taking it to them, and they have to fight for their lives or they get crushed. And it's made for a lot of drama inside of the cage. But just on the surface, I thought that maybe there was something they could have did, but they only have so much time to put on a show. Maybe that the main card could have had a certain kind of look, and then the prelims would have had a different scenery or background, just to change something up. I was looking for the fights to be outside. There was nothing really special about Fight Island other than just having a place where you can put on fights. From our point of view, it looked like a regular arena. I think Masvidal is a star. I think Masvidal carried the card. I think Masvidal did everything right, does everything right to help promote a show. And he did a favor for Dana White, the UFC, for himself, of course. But he did a favor. I think they owe him a favor. Just for him to be able to survive the fight with, what he had to work with, limited time. Man, that was pretty good. It's pretty amazing. When you talk about when you put it into context how talented these guys are, there's not many people that just walk off the bar stool and walk right into a fight like that and last that long. I just don't know any. So we know how talented he is. We know that he's a star. People love him. The show did 1-3. That's all the love you need to know about right there. So it's a good show. I wouldn't give it a A+. I think some fights that made up for it. Amanda Ribas, oh my goodness. I like her. I think that's the second or third time I've actually seen her, and I never really put it together about who she was or what she could do. Now I know. Hey, look, that's my feedback in terms of what UFC 251 was. All right, I'm Coach Sess, and you've had words with the Mad Coach.